Today's the quick change challenge, so I've got 2 different decor pieces that can help you quickly transition from Halloween to Thanksgiving. So grab your favorite pumpkin treat and let's get started. For my first project today, I'm using one of the pumpkin-shaped board signs from the Dollar Tree. I removed the hanger and the embellishments and filled in the holes with spackling. Then I covered the backside of the sign with the plaster color by Waverly. I'm trying to duplicate the look of these cute little pumpkin jars I made a couple weeks ago, so next I'm giving my sign a little bit of a distressed look. Instead of sanding, I skipped the mess and used my black wax. I wanted it to look like scuffs and chips, so I used a sponge to apply the wax. I had my friend Piper helping me today, and we just randomly blotted around the board. Next, I printed out a pumpkin face I liked and used my favorite Arteza carbon paper to transfer the outline to the sign. I showed Piper how to make sure the image is centered, but we decided that we didn't have to measure because we could just line up the center of the nose with the center of the stem. Then Piper carefully traced the outline of the face. I just used a black paint pen to fill in the face, and while I'm doing that, I'll mention that today's challenge is hosted by Teresa B. DIY and co-hosted by Dave's Wreaths and Things and Jamie and the husband from What's Jamie Making. I'll have links to their channels as well as the playlist in the description box below, so be sure to check out their channels and then hop to the playlist to see what everyone comes up with. So now we're going to hop to prep for the other side of the sign. My thought was that the first side was for Halloween and this side is for Thanksgiving. I mean, I feel like pumpkins continue all the way through late fall, maybe even Christmas, right? I remember one time we had rotting pumpkins on our front porch when my brother had a college girlfriend drop him off for Christmas break. We always used to use the back door, so we had totally forgotten about the rotting pumpkins on our front porch. Our mother was so utterly embarrassed, and it was kind of like, "Hi, nice to meet you. Have you met our rotting pumpkins here?" So back to the project. My plan is to do a shiplap look similar to a shamrock I did back in the spring. I started with jumbo craft sticks from Walmart, and I stained all of the sticks using Waverly antique wax, which I applied with a baby wipe. Then I split the sticks into 4 groups. I left one group the same and used a different color on each of the other 3 groups. I love gray tones, so I used the colors Elephant, Mineral, and Plaster, all by Waverly. I followed the same process for all 3 groups. I just dry brushed on a small amount of paint onto each stick and then used the baby wipe to blend it. Using a baby wipe makes it so it's more of a tint instead of thick paint, so you can still see the grain of the wood. Next, I trimmed off the rounded ends using a paper cutter. I saw my friend Jess from Glue La La do this, and when I was clearing out my mother's house, I found this old one that's probably 40 years old, but it still works great. It's been a game changer when working with craft sticks, so thanks for the tip, Jess. So you'll see that I gave it a quick base coat of the mineral color by Waverly. I wasn't looking for perfection, I just didn't want any of that orange or the glittery writing showing through if there were any cracks between the slats. So after trimming the sticks, I got a rough idea of how I wanted to place the sticks and then got to laying them out. The trickiest part of the project is the very top by the stem and then the bottom because of all the deep curves. I learned from my previous go-round with the shamrock that it's best to stick down the pieces using glue dots and then trace the outline from the back. Then I just removed the sticks and cut the outlines with scissors. I also got my X-Acto knife out for some extra tricky grooves. I glued each piece down with hot glue and then continued on to the next line. And then things started to move pretty quickly. Each row I varied where the slat lines were to give it good dimension. So if one line had a break to the right, in the next line I would make sure that the break was either in the middle or to the left. I just wanted it to be really extra random, not even like subway tile where every other line lines up. I tried to also vary colors, so I spread out the darker gray pieces and tried not to have any pieces the same color as their neighbor. Once I was into the main part of the sign, I was able to glue down the pieces first and then just cut along the edge. Then once I got to the bottom, I used the glue dot method again to trace the lines and cut the pieces prior to gluing. I chose to wrap the stem with twine, and since this is a reversible sign, I wanted to be extra careful with the glue because there's really no hidden side. I actually used a piece that I had unraveled from Nautical rope from the Dollar Tree, so it was actually a little thicker than regular twine. And because the shape of the stem is not exactly straight, it was a little more difficult to cover, and so I had to glue it on every wrap and not just every so often. And now for some embellishments. I started with the jack-o'-lantern side, and I thought that buffalo check would work nicely, so I just looped the ribbon around itself to form almost like a little bow tie, and I just pinched it in the middle and secured it with a narrower buffalo check ribbon. Now, since the sign is going to be reversible, I wanted to be able to remove the bows so that you can't see them from the other side. I decided to use Velcro, and I had these little adhesive Velcro strips in my craft stash, so I just cut a small square and stuck it down. I decided to add some greenery, and instead of gluing it to the actual sign, I glued the pieces to the back of the bow so that it was attached to the Velcro instead of to the board. Then it was time to embellish the other side. I had gotten a couple packs of the metal words from Dollar Tree and decided to use the thankful one here. I gave the word a quick outline with a white paint pen so that the word would pop out a little bit more against the wood slats. Then I didn't catch this on camera, but I made a quick finger bow with twine. I just wrapped twine around 4 fingers a bunch of times in a figure 8 pattern and then secured it in the middle with more twine. I also used my Velcro trick on this side, and I added the same greenery to this one as well. Because the twine wasn't as thick as the ribbon I used on the other side, I stuck the greenery down first and then used hot glue to attach the bow to the greenery. This worked great. And finally, I hot glued the word down and my reversible sign was complete. You guys, I absolutely love how this turned out. I love the white and black pumpkin. It's a Halloween theme, but it's still perfectly neutral so it can fit in with lots of different decor. And then it's a quick change to the thankful sign. Just pop off the bow and turn the sign around. I love shiplap walls, but I just wouldn't be able to commit to something like that on a wall. But a temporary decor piece, heck yeah. Let me know in the comments which side of the sign you like the best. Okay, so for my next piece, I have something that was fun to do with the kids and is something easy to bring a little holiday flair to an existing floral arrangement. We're going to make little pumpkin floral picks. I started with some of the mini wood blocks that come in like a pack of 50 from Dollar Tree. We're going to have 6 Halloween pumpkins with jack-o'-lantern faces and 6 plain pumpkins for the Thanksgiving transition. Before painting, my very helpful husband drilled small holes in the bottom of each block. He used the smallest drill bit and only drilled about halfway through each block. I had intended to make my own pick, but you'll see later that I discovered another way. I've got my pal Piper helping me again, and she's joined by her brother Henry and also my son Tyler. They're giving the blocks a quick coat of apple barrel paints, and I think the color's fittingly pumpkin. Tyler and I gave a couple of the Thanksgiving pumpkins a coat of curry by Waverly. However, when we were done, I thought that they were a little too yellow, so while they were still damp, I added on a little bit of the orange paint and was happy with the mix. Then this somehow didn't get filmed, but we also gave all the blocks a quick coat of antique wax by Waverly to give them a more weathered look. We applied the wax with a baby wipe so that it was nice and thin. Next, I added faces to my jack-o'-lanterns. Since the pumpkins were so tiny, there wasn't really room for anything too extravagant, so it was pretty basic shapes, just combinations of triangles and circles. And I also discovered a sort of upside-down comma looked good for eyes, too. So I also had a whoopsie. I wasn't paying attention to where the hole was, which is the bottom of the pumpkin. So I drew on a face upside down. Then I thought I'd fix it by drawing another face on the back, only I drew that upside down too. So I figured the universe was trying to tell me something. So I just left him with an upside down face, and it'll just be a fun story to tell if people notice. So I just had this pack of tiny sticks in my craft stash from last year. I think I used them to make my macrame Christmas tree ornaments, but a little twig from the yard would work for this too. I actually used my paper cutter to cut them into super short stems for my pumpkins. I think they were about 1/2 centimeter long. I just attached those with hot glue, and then I had this floral pick from Dollar Tree that was in with the fall florals and had these perfect little tiny leaves for my pumpkin. So I just pulled a few of those off and glued 2 to each pumpkin, and it worked great. You guys, look how cute these are! For the Thanksgiving pumpkins, I skipped drawing faces and just used one of the furniture scratch pins from Dollar Tree to mark the corners of the blocks so that it almost looked like a round pumpkin shape. If you don't have a furniture scratch pin, you can just use a brown marker, or really, I think with the stems and leaves, they really look enough like a pumpkin that you could skip this step altogether. And these pumpkins got stems and leaves too. So I had this little urn that I got for just 99 cents at the thrift store, and I upcycled it, and it'll be making an appearance in a future video, but I thought it was a perfect little Halloween / Thanksgiving planter. The Dollar Tree has some amazing florals too, and they have these boxwood picks, which I love. I grabbed some that were green and some that had some of the oranges in them. I used 2 of each and thought that that paired together well and that they looked really real. So as I mentioned earlier, I had planned to make my own little picks, but I didn't end up having to. I realized when I was playing around with the boxwood picks that the pumpkins stuck perfectly to their stems. So I just popped off the florals and added the pumpkins to the ends. Done and done. So here's the Halloween version. I just think these look so cute, and they work really nicely with the fall boxwood picks. I love having something like this that I can just add to a regular arrangement. And then into the Thanksgiving version. This is definitely a more subtle look, but I love having something like this in a bathroom or on a kitchen counter that isn't super in your face, but gives a little nod to a holiday. So there you have it, 2 quick change decor pieces that could help you transition from Halloween into Thanksgiving. Let me know in the comments which project you like the best, and if you found me from the quick change playlist, I'd love for you to stick around and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date with my content. I already have a ton of ideas for the holiday season, and I'll start rolling those out very soon, so stay tuned for those. See you next time. Bye.